SENS 2012 User Registration. All users have to register before they will be given access to the system. This is done by completing the registration form. The registration form is accessible from the login screen or the Browse Token screen. A new user cannot register on the IR system without a registration token. The user will need to obtain a registration token from the super user, as explained in the token management video of the series. The user will access the external registration application form by selecting Need Registration on the login screen. The user is then presented with the new external registration application screen, where he'll have to complete the various fields on the screen. In the exchange field, the user should indicate whether his company is associated with the JSE or with the Namibian Stock Exchange. Then the user must select the type of role or relationship his company has with the exchange. Please see the introduction model for details on the various roles. Based on the selection in the exchange field and the role field, the drop-down box for company name will be pre-populated. The user will then select his company name from the drop-down box. In the designation field, the user will type in his designation in his company that he registers for. If the user is already registered with the JSE to use another type of system in the JSE, the user should have a current login ID and password. The user should type this current login ID and password into the next two fields. The user should select his title from the drop-down box and then type in his first name and last name. The ID number is optional, but it will make the process easier for the JSE to identify the correct person in the database. The birth date field is compulsory and should be entered by either selecting the date on the date picker or typing in the date in the format year, month, and day. The email address, telephone number, cell number, and fax number must be populated next. The telephone number, then the area code without the 0, and then the actual telephone number. The user must then enter his postal address. Under the heading Desired Access, the user must select the various items that must be available in the main menu. These items will be confirmed with the super user during the approval process. Note that the normal user will only be able to view his own work items submitted in the IR system, but the super user will be able to view all items submitted by his company and will be able to reallocate items from one user to another. The user must select the preferred method of communication. This is the method that the IR system will use to communicate with the user, example SENS dissemination, confirmations, etc. The user can select both methods. The user must then enter the token that was originally obtained by the super user. It is mandatory for the user to first read the terms and conditions before checking the box that he accepts the terms and conditions. The user must then click on the Submit button. If the user does not click Submit and select Clear or Close, all the data entered by the user will be lost. When the user selects Submit, the system will create a worklist item with a unique number that will be displayed to the user. Once the JSE has registered the user will receive an email confirming that he is registered and the details regarding the login ID and password. The user will be required to change his password the first time he logs into the IR system. The next video in the series is token management.